This, just in case you've been living under a rock for a couple of generations now, is a Jaguar E-Type. And if you ask me, and I'm very glad you did, this is one of the most beautiful cars ever to turn a wheel. I mean, have a look at this thing.
But really, it shouldn't work at all. I mean, no sane company would build a car with big round flanks, nor would it build a car with no lip on the wheel arches. And no designer would ever tuck wheels away with so much mudguard overhang.
But Jaguar did, and somehow the end result turned out so unutterably beautiful that even 40 years on, it still turns big, hairy, allegedly grown-up blokes like me into gibbering wrecks. The E-Type was great value for money. It was about half the price of the equivalent Ferrari. And the 4.2 litre straight six meant it was also insanely fast. In fact, 240 kilometres an hour is a big whack now, but in the early 60s it was headline stuff. This car was always going to be a hard act to follow.
And you know what? Jaguar never did. Mind you, the company has never stopped trying, and this car, the XKR, is its latest attempt at recapturing the spirit of the E-Type. If you squint, you might see a hint of E-Type in the grille, and the fact that it's also available as a coupe or a convertible. But a latter-day E-Type? I don't think so. The problem is that the world has changed. A lot of the things that made the E-Type such a visceral, spiritual machine simply wouldn't fit into today's super tough legislation. Nor would they suit car buyers who think roughing it is having room service turn up 5 minutes late. The law would never let you get away with that rowdy exhaust note in 2007, nor would the interior racket and the dopey ergonomics please the modern car buyer. So, the XKR has to keep itself nice, hooray for political correctness, and at the same time, inject a little bit of excitement into a bloke's driving experience. It's not an easy job. In this car, the convertible version, it's a little bit easier because no amount of legislation can alter the fact that drop-top cars are inherently good fun. But beyond that, the XKR tries really hard. The engine is a V8 measuring 4.2 litres and using double overhead camshafts. But more than that, there's a dirty great supercharger sitting on top, boosting power to 298 kilowatts, which is about 400 horsepower. Transmission is the excellent 6-speed auto that turns up in many high-end cars, and the suspension is aimed at giving a decent ride while still being able to be thrown around when the mood takes you.
Side by side like this, you really can see where 40 years of development has gone. But charming though the XKR is, it's never going to be the stuff of dreams like the older gear. In fact, I doubt that any brand new car in 2007 is going to recapture the magic of the 1960s. And let's face it, Joseph Heller only had one catch-22 in him. The Mona Lisa only ever smiled for Leonardo once. And Jaguar, well, they only ever built one E-Type. And I'm sorry, but that's the way it is.